So like I said, I think it is safe to say that I am going to need to see another major conflict break out within this video in order for me to kind of continue on with the campaign. And by the way, over the break, the British took over Madrid a lot quicker than I thought. I wanted to kind of push the campaign so that way we for sure got past 575, turn 575 that is, and they took over Madrid a lot faster than I thought. It was just like boom. There's a bunch of Spanish units they just squeezed in there, and I guess they focused on, rather than what the Congo are doing. I mean, the Congo are going to take over the city, I believe, eventually. But the Congo, for several turns, decided just to attack the Ashanti units, whereas the British went straight in after the city of Madrid. Maybe it's because they knew Spain only had one city left, so they just took over the city instead. But still, a much different strategy and a much more effective strategy when it came to the British controlling the British Isles. I'm sorry, Iberia. So the last major conflict that's going on is the one that's kind of started up several videos ago. It has been kind of a stalemate for the most part. It's starting to lean towards one side. I think that, you know, if someone was going to join in and, you know, like I said, destabilize the continent, now would be the time to do so. Or within the next several turns. Maybe not now, but if you wait a little bit longer, there'll definitely be more turns to be able to do it. I am trying to keep myself from not looking at the info addicts. I really, really want to, but I'd rather, I don't know when I'm going to end this, so I didn't want to look at it and then just look at it again, you know, a video later. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that, bam, they did end up taking this, so good for them. You know, I don't want to look at it now and then we end up ending the series in about 5 turns because I want to look at it again at the very end and have already repeated myself. So I don't want to do that. So let's just not and make it more exciting. I think that it's safe to say that there certainly are some more powers here than that's been kind of the latest news out of the series over the course of the last few videos. If you haven't been keeping up, is that there have now been, you know, obviously there was the 3 great powers, maybe even the 4 if you technically count Colombia. Colombia, I think, solidified that as that 4th power after they took over so many Argentinian cities. But now there's also Siam. There's Siam is certainly, you know, they gained a lot in strength when it came to taking over India, so that helped. The Congo are the other kind of new power that are maybe inching closer to the Australians. So I would say there's 3 just out of the top 4. I don't know. I mean, maybe some people would actually argue that Australia is 4 and Colombia is 5. But I think it's the other way around. I think Australia, Siam, and the Congo are all fighting for that 5, 6, and 7th place spot. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know. And I'm not even considering the Ottomans, but the Ottomans are... I don't know what I'd do with the Ottomans. The Ottomans are kind of like... I guess they're the Ottomans, I would say, are very close to the UK. And I know that some people are going to completely, you know, disagree with that. They're going to say the UK are way stronger. Yeah, I guess so. They are way stronger. But, you know, we have to remember that the UK have been more entertaining. I think at the end of the day, if it was just the UK versus the Ottomans, it'd be somewhat close. I think the advantage would go to Churchill, though, obviously, because I believe he has a pretty strong air force. But they're both very close in technology. They both have very big cities, which means that they're pretty high in the technology tree. You know, I'd still give the victory to the UK, but I think that they're very similar in a lot of different ways. Maybe not so much anymore after the British just took over all of Iberia. As turns go by, they will get stronger and stronger. We also need to keep in mind if they are going to annex these cities. They did. They annexed the Cuban cities, so they'll probably annex the Spanish cities, which is a big deal. Really big deal, because that's even more things for them to build. No one's taken over this Danish city just yet. I don't think anyone can take this over. I don't think the Congo can take this over. The Ashanti, I think, have very, very good production. I mean, this city's got 30 population, so yeah, they've got very, very good production. So even though the Ashanti have been losing units, the Congo, I think they're almost equally losing the same amount of units as they're building. So the Congo haven't done a very effective job, I think, at destroying the Ashanti units fast enough. But at the same time, you know, the Ashanti have been smart enough to continue to pump out units no matter what, which is making this war such a grueling sort of bloodfest. You know, where there. That's why also I don't think anyone's declared war on the Ashanti just yet, because they're still pumping out units. So Harar has been captured. I believe it might be captured back. Will they capture it back? They did capture it back. Okay, but all the population's been completely destroyed here, which is it's a problem. You know, like if I was going down, I would do it like if I was going down like the Ashanti Civ is right now. I'd do the same thing. I would destroy my own population, just so that you know that other power wouldn't be grabbing more strength. Trying my best to stop the gain. I just got to continue to repeat that. I'm gonna repeat that in my sleep. We're just gonna like ban luxuries, I guess, all day in the World Congress. No one else wants to do anything in 2085 but ban luxuries. Maybe there's artificial luxuries now. Who knows? That should be a thing. Artificial luxuries. I feel bad for knocking Korea for not doing anything. You know, I've been kind of kind of upset that Korea hasn't done anything. But what do you expect? I shouldn't be like that because they don't want to be destroyed. I think they want to go down in the history books of our series here as surviving and being, you know, maybe number 2 or number 3 in terms of, you know, best civs. Obviously, at any point, France can just end that. France can end anybody. Except for Canada. And it's unfortunate that we'll never see that battle go down. It would have been cool. Although, I don't know. I mean, I think that we would have just seen Canada grow in strength. I think that's one thing that Canada could have done here is they could have declared war on France, and that might have been enough to push them over the edge. But, you know, unfortunately, it's not going to go down like that. For them, I guess, unfortunately for the Canadian fans, it won't go down like that. And even if they did, there would still be an argument in the comments, and I would still make the argument that France still deserves a win because of entertainment value. At the end of the day, that is a big deal. And that's what I like. That's why I don't think I'm ever going to go back to regular victory types enabled. There was just way too many times where I felt like I should have given the victory to another Civ, but somebody else that was small, that didn't do much, won the science victory. And I'd understand in the comment section below when people were like, well, I know what you're thinking, Drew, you know, whatever, this big, super big power should win, but at the end of the day, you know, whatever, Gandhi got the victory. And I did it like that. I would give them the victory, but I was always so upset. I was always just like, that didn't feel earned. I shouldn't be rewarding the civs that didn't. I know that, you know, they're not human players or whatever, but I'm just saying I never felt like I should reward a civ that wasn't entertaining and wasn't big and expansive. The victory. It always felt weird because it's like, you know, a civ that we didn't spend any time looking into, like Mexico. We barely talked about Mexico. Even actually, they've survived for a while. But still, if Mexico won a science victory, how lame would that be? I'd be very upset. Actually, it'd be kind of cool. I'm not going to say it's lame. It'd be kind of cool. But yeah, no, I think that it wouldn't feel like they should be getting the victory over France. Anyways, so that's why I probably won't go back to a victory like that, a kind of a all victories enabled sort of thing. It's not guaranteed, but it's just very unlikely over the course of the next maybe 2 series. I don't think I'm going to do it. Where are the Congo attacking next? I think the Ashanti are going to allow most of these outside cities to fall, but they're going to focus on protecting their city of 30 population, which is smart. I don't think they care about anything else. I'm about to get squeezed down, getting pushed further and further into the Atlantic, which is kind of fun. I think the only way I'd be able to propose, like I said, like the only way that we'd be proposing a straw poll would be a straw poll victory where it's close enough between Canada and France would be if Canada declares war on France or vice versa. I think that's absolutely the only way. So unless Canada declares war on France over, you know, the next several turns, I think that we all know who the victory should go to. But I do very much give them a lot of credit for going after Japan. That was cool. That was one of the coolest things we have seen, because I've never seen an invasion of the Japanese mainland like that before. And it's something that we probably won't experience, we probably wouldn't have experienced if we used a different map type. I don't like this map type either. Well, I like it because of Europe, but I wish it wasn't so like messed up when it comes to the Pacific. And yeah, the Pacific is just so messed up, I think. For the most part, I feel like the old world is okay, but you know, I think North America might be a little bit big. I actually don't know. I don't know comparably how. It's okay. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that Africa is huge, and it should be huger if we're gonna try to go for the realistic, you know, map. Africa, the continent of Africa is massive. So, and I realize that, you know, I don't think these map generators. I don't know. I'm not even gonna say anything about it. But I just think that it'd be tough to make. It's really tough to make a map super accurate to Earth. But anyways, my point is pretty cool to see that. But I'm you know, I obviously agree with those that say that they don't really like this map. But I don't think there's anyone that says they don't like the map because we've always had a successful Europe. I love Europe. I just don't like the Pacific region. Anyways, so it looks like this will be the end of the series. Not this video. The next video will probably be the end of the series. Nothing is kind of occurring, which is fine. I'm just glad that we got to see a little bit. It is turn 575. So that is cool. The Zulu never really tried anything, which is unfortunate. They probably could have tried something with the Congo. The Congo, I think, are going to... Will they be able to take over the city? Not yet. Oh, do they have mechanized infantry? Ooh. They do. They might have had mechanized infantry for a while now, but I hadn't noticed it. They seem like they're digging deeper into their reserves that are off the Zulu front, which is kind of interesting. Shanti have denounced Colombia and the UK. Ooh, now they're going to try to defend, but at the same time, it looks like the Congo are actually going to go after Casablanca, which is kind of a smart move. No one ended up eliminating Argentina, which is kind of surprising. I think that Colombia could have 178 happenings for Napoleon. Jeez. The only one close enough is 100 behind, and that's Colombia. That's pretty shocking, but at the same time, not really, because we all knew that France had so many wonders, which is, I think, why they're on top of most of the info hacks, too, which might not be the case anymore. Japan has had time, as well as Japan has grown in size, about 4 cities in size. Were these big cities? Because I don't think Japan ever took back the cities while they're being conquered. Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, they're all 8 or above in population, so that's kind of a pretty big deal. What were we looking at before? Oh yeah, Africa. Yes, this is the only point of actual conflict. Have the Zulu have somewhat reinforced their borders, but not by much. Actually, most of the reinforcements have come from here, former Ethiopian territory. This is where I think they'd have most success. The problem is that if anyone ever actually took over... okay, so they did declare the war. Ooh. Okay, so that was something that I said really early that I thought might happen. I'm just surprised that Shaka actually did it. Well, now we're going to be in an interesting situation. Australia has also declared war on Mexico. Korea never ended up doing anything with that sneak attack or whatever. Maybe that was just a force meant to... Canada's also declared war on Mexico. Oh. Okay. So what does this mean? I'd like to see another conflict, to be honest, but this will do for now. Australia's not going to get there in time. Mexico's going to again, now I'm starting to think of the campaign as a whole, and I'm thinking, well, wait a second. We just talked about this. I said, what if what if Canada takes over all the Japanese mainland, and then what if they go to war with Mexico? I remember saying a statement about that 2 videos ago, saying that they still need one more thing. They need another, oomph to do, to, I think, make it debatable. Because they're going to take this over. Australia doesn't have a chance of taking this stuff over. Oh my gosh, Canada, you're killing me. Oh gosh, you're killing me, Canada. I don't know. You're making this very interesting. And I realize that if I look at the campaign as a whole, it should still go to France. But because France hasn't been at war for several videos, that's having a toll on us as viewers. We're all viewers here. And I think that because even though on the scope of things, France has been more entertaining because they haven't been to war in the last like 12 videos, and that's only because turns process less fast, much slower, I guess. That has an impact on the way we see it. So it seems like maybe Canada has been at war for longer, even though the returns are just processing slower. Canada was, or France was early game stuff. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Again, like I said, I'd like to see one more conflict break out. That's not that one. That's not going to mean anything. One more major conflict, I guess I mean. Ooh, the Ottomans might be joining in. Ooh, okay, so like I said, a lot of the troops are coming out of Ethiopia for the Zulu. The Zulu are... So this is also another interesting point. Because these mid-range civs are all about... it's super late game. They're all about the same technology. They all have paratroopers. They all have bazookas. Technology is no longer playing a role. It's entirely numbers. And again, it'd be interesting to look at the info addicts, but I'm not going to. But it is entirely numbers why I think these wars are being declared, not necessarily because of technology. And I understand that when we look in the military manpower category, it is factoring in technology because as you grow in technology, they offer you more numbers in the info addicts category, in that particular info addicts category. When I say numbers, I mean strictly they're just looking at number of units, which is something that we're looking at visually. Pretty much, we don't really, look at. I sometimes make that mistake all the time, where I look at numbers, the number of units the Civ has instead of the technology they have. I used to make that mistake a lot earlier in these AI only series. Not so much anymore. I feel like I try my best to look at technology over just numbers. But anyways, that's what I mean. Let's go to Central America. Jeez, holy crap. Hey, Canada could still sneak in. Oh no, they really can't. Not these submarines. They could have tried with a digger or two. So that will be another interesting border between Colombia and Canada. That is a much easier war for them to get involved in, and while at the same time picking up a lot of strength. We're still a ways away from that. I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I'm just saying that when Canada eventually takes over all of Mexico, they could go after Colombia, I think have much more success, grab a lot more power, rather than going after France. I didn't think about that. Although Canada's going to have to rely more on their navy, and they're not really ready for that. Now that I think about it, though, late game for the AI, navies don't even matter. AI has done such a good job at using their paratroopers, using their XCOM squads. It's crazy. I'm really, really shocked by that. So, I think... So, Guadalajara still hasn't fallen? Wow, okay, that's kind of surprising. It'll fall next, though. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.